7:39 here, Big 550 KTRS. We got Kathy Helbig here, who's filling us in on all sorts of real estate. Good morning, Kathy Helbig.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
What do we have going on today?
So we're going to talk about new construction because this is the time of the year that if you have been looking and just can't find that perfect house or can't stand the thought of living on someone else's carpet,
Yes.
then new construction is a great option for you. And we do have a lot of it in the St. Louis, St. Charles areas. So
I am listening intently to
Yes.
this conversation.
yes. So some good tips for new construction is obviously right now they're starting to slow down. So it's a good time to get serious about it because if you can make any deals with builders, and that's an asterisk by the if,
Right.
Winter is going to be your better time for that than others. And also, just so you know, before you walk in, if you want the help of a real estate agent, which I highly recommend,
Yes.
you should know that up front because some builders are very sticklers about if you didn't tell them that you have an agent up front when you walk in, then they potentially could block us
Right.
from helping you in the process. We can help you, but they're not going to compensate us out of
Right.
out of their fees that they've already have booked into their bottom line anyway. So it's just a better idea when you go to these places to let them know that you are working with a real estate agent. So if you get serious about it, then we're able to help you through the whole process.
Right.
Of
Seriously, if you're
negotiations.
just driving by and see, development, if you walk in on
Yeah.
your own and don't mention it the first time,
Right.
then
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Just say, hey, Kathy Helbig.
Some
Okay,
are
great.
some are stricter
Right.
than others
Yeah.
about that, but yes, potentially they could completely
Just
block
walk
you
into
out.
the store and say, Kathy
Yeah.
Helbig. That's what I say.
There you go. So do I. When you're walking through, you need to recognize that what you're seeing in the display homes is not what you're getting in that base price.
That is important to
It's
know.
huge. So builders are always going to advertise their absolute bottom dollar price on the
Right.
signs. And then you have to ask yourself, what kind of person are you? Are you going to be a bare bones person or are
Right.
you going to need to load it up? Also, you want to make sure, and this is where we help you, is once we do get you to a price point based on what all your options are, where do you fall within the subdivision or that development? Are you low end, middle? Or are you the most expensive house that's being
Right.
built in that
Yeah.
development? And a lot of times you're not privy to that information. So as an agent, we would come in and request to see contract prices of other lots that have gone under contract or houses that have closed or houses that are in construction at the time.
Does it matter if you're the first house or the last house in a subdivision?
Sometimes you get a deal on both. So being the first house in, the builder wants to show that somebody's buying and construction
Right.
is happening. So sometimes we can negotiate a little bit better deal for you to be the first guy to take the risk on that
Right.
development going. And then oftentimes the last guy in, they just want to close up, get out. They've got their sub somewhere else.
Right.
The lot may or may not be the worst. A lot of people think that because it's the last lot, nobody bought it,
Right.
that it's the terrible lot. And I've bought a couple personally that were towards the end of a development that ended up being one of the better lots. It's just you got to have some vision to it. Also, you want to make sure you know what the builder's reputation is. So sometimes driving around and asking the neighbors who've already built in there what
Right.
their experience was is important, but also keep in mind, nobody loves their builder at the end of the process. So you have to take that with a grain of salt because it is a very, very tedious process and there is so much room for error in it and it will happen.
Right.
So, but people expect perfection because they're paying top dollar, it's brand new.
Right.
And they think that when little things go wrong that it makes shines
Right.
poorly on the builder
That's a
that they're
great
a bad
point.
builder.
That's a
and that's
very good
not
point.
necessarily the case. So as your real estate advisors, we can also weigh in on who we know through 20 years of experience
Right.
has a better reputation versus not so much a better reputation. And then lastly, people do not ever think about this. Hire a home inspection before closing. They don't ever think about doing that on new construction. But these are all subcontractors that are working for this builder. Some of them better than others.
Right.
So there's mistakes that happen. There's, trash that gets shoved into a ventilation thing. I mean,
Right.
you just never know what's going to
Yeah.
happen. So a building inspector towards the tail end can come through and then have a list ready for you that you can put on your punch list with your builder when you do your builder walkthrough.
That's Kathy Helbig. That's why when you walk into anywhere, including new construction, you say, hi, I'm Kathy Helbig.
Kathy Helbig.
KathyHelbigGroup.com, 314-276-SOLD, or Kathy Helbig.